Hello, and welcome to today's video. Today, I wanted to cover the recommended weapons and weapon loadouts for the Grandmaster Nightfalls starting on Tuesday. In case you don't know, Grandmaster Nightfalls open up on Tuesday. For those of you that are guilding, you'll be able to complete all 6 of them starting next week. For those of you who are going for Conqueror for the first time, you'll need to complete each Nightfall the first time through as it comes up in the rotation. And then you will have 2 weeks to complete all 6 Nightfalls once again. I'll be covering a recommended loadout that usually involves both stuns. The only exception to this is Birthplace of the Vile. Since it's overload and unstoppable, it's hard to have both stuns consistently. So I would recommend working with your team to make sure you have the appropriate amount of stunning. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into the rest of the video. So, I will be grouping these together since they all follow a similar set of stuns. Our first 3 strikes this season are all unstoppable champions and barrier champions. So I would recommend a energy, time payload, or explosive payload hand cannon. Some of these are the Cantata, the Bottom Dollar, the solar one from last season that I can't remember its name of, and a couple others in the energy slot have explosive payload. The reason you want explosive payload or time payload is they offer a 15% damage bonus upon crit shots, and this is a constant 15% damage bonus, and damage bonuses tend to be very difficult to achieve within endgame content. I have a rapid hit time payload Cantata that I personally love, and you can run any of your choice depending on what you need for shield types, right? For the kinetic slot, I would highly recommend Arbalist. It's a good champ and major DPS weapon. It's anti-barrier intrinsically and will cover whatever shields your primary weapon / subclass can't cover. For heavy, I would recommend a heavier linear for those of you that got the God Roll Reach Regret last week. In case you don't know, last week you could have gotten a God Roll Reach Regret from maxing out your Trials rank. I know there's probably plenty of people who didn't get it. I didn't get it myself. My reads is good enough, but I mean, it's not firing line, but it's good enough. But if you have that, I would highly recommend that. Otherwise, the only other one you can get this season, before heading into GMs, if you're a newish player, is Cataclysmic. However, if you do have a Threaded Needle from previous seasons, from like Season of the Chosen and stuff, then that is just as good as well, especially if you have one with auto-loading holster. This is what I would run for Scarlet Keep, Arms Dealer, and the Lightblade. All 3 of these strikes, they are the first 3 strikes this season, and all 3 are unstoppable and barrier champions. So they'll all have very similar loadouts. When it comes to weapon choices, the only thing that'll really be changing around is your subclass choices. Next up is our 2 Overload Barrier strikes. These are 2 very different strikes in terms of difficulty and engagement ranges. However, I would once again recommend Arbalist, and then for Overload, you would probably want to choose an AR, an assault rifle. This is mostly because they have more range than some machine guns do, though some machine guns tend to work pretty well, especially inside Fallen Saber, which tends to be closer range. You just want to choose for your primary whatever the primary shield type is. So for Glassway, you'll want to choose Arc, so something like this season's Sweet Sorrow will be really good there. It'll be Overload, it'll be Arc. Most of your shields are Arc. The couple Void shields, your Void ability teammates, or yourself, if you're on a Void subclass, can handle that. The only real thing I would say in there that you don't need Void-wise is I would probably run a Well. The Stasis Warlock works well too. But if you're going to have a Titan, I would obviously have a Void Titan. If you're on 3 Warlocks, I would run a Nova Bomb Warlock as your 3rd Warlock. But overall, I would just make sure that your primary weapon matches the most abundant shield type. And you can look for other people's guides on the breakthrough and walkthrough to the GMs. I won't personally be doing that. I'll just personally be giving you builds once we get to each GM. Lastly is Birthplace of the Vile, the one unique stun set up this season, and that being Overload and Unstoppable. Here I would recommend team synergy and making sure your loadouts combine to have both stuns. However, I would recommend that everybody have a blinding GL in the kinetic slot to help control the huge amount of hard hitting adds in the boss room. and then either an explosive payload hand cannon or auto, depending on what your teammates are running. Though a primary overload here is important, I would say 2 unstops is probably more crucial. If your unstoppable teammates are also running overload nades on void, the 1 overload person will be fine. That is it for today's video. I know today was a little bit of a short one, but I just wanted to go over some loadouts and some weapon choices heading into GMs on Tuesday. I will see everyone on Sunday for a brand new video. Thanks for watching. I hope these help you get your first time Conqueror for those going for it. This is a hard season, so if you get it this season, be proud. This is not going to be a joke of a season. This isn't like Splicer, where it was relatively easy season overall. This season, if you get it, be proud, be happy you got it. This season is no joke. For those guilding, good luck. You have done most of these strikes, especially those who are going for their 4th time guild. Thanks again, and I'll see everybody on Sunday. One last note before I do actually end the video here. I'll be doing a build guide and class setup every Thursday from here on out. So if you're looking to complete your GMs over the weekend, or, those guides release next week, everybody will be doing their, big, huge guides about, how to pace yourself through rooms, the gameplay loops through the rooms, right? I'll just simply be giving you the common 3 class makeup, and then just builds to help you get through those classes. I'm not here to walk you through them. There's plenty of people who do that. I'm just here to give you those builds. Fit with the rest of my channel content. I'm just here to give you builds, help you get through it. Most of my builds that I've already shown off will be probably in there. So if you're looking for a Stasis Warlock build this season, obviously the Osmiomancy gloves are really good. If you're looking for a Stasis Titan build, I just did one on that on Tuesday. I obviously have a Void Titan build on the channel, so if you're looking for any of those things, they're already here, but I'll have them into a condensed form for each and every strike going forward. Alright, I hope everyone has enjoyed, and this will be it. Goodbye.